Mic check, 1, 2, 3. All right, looks good. Oh, alrighty. It is chilly in the studio. We still need to figure out the heating in this place. It is, like I said, an old building, and so I've got a floor heater here. But yeah, let's hope it stays a warm winter because there's been a lot of boudoir shoots in here lately, and I don't envy the photographers and their models. So, anyways, okay. So I wanted to talk about the workshop that we had. So this video is meant for any photographers out there that are either attending workshops, just to give you an idea of what's been going on or how we run our workshops and maybe things you should look out for to make sure you get value from the workshops. Or if you're a photographer, videographer hoping to host a workshop and what goes into it and things to consider as well. It was a good learning for us, and definitely like there's always things that you can do better. You always look back and wish that you would have done this or this, but overall, it was really fun. It worked out great. The models had a good time. Our attendees, they raved about it after. They loved it. And so that's all you can really ask for. If your attendees are having a good time and they enjoy it, that's really the key. We did one scene over here with Emily and did a wedding boudoir. So we try to say it's more like fine art. We didn't want something just like overly raunchy or like too sexy, but it was meant to be classy. And if brides that we're shooting or that our attendees would come across, this could be an extra add-on that they could do for their future husbands. And that's what Scotty does. It's part of his packages. Sometimes he does boudoir shoots for his wedding couples. So that's where the intent came from. And so that was a nice little setup over there. And then where I'm sitting now, we had a nice kind of velvety chair with this arch of flowers that our buddy at Grow and Bloom, Robin, came to set up and made a beautiful arrangement for us. And so this kind of corner was, we called it like an edgy Christmas couple. And so we had Nevada and Cole. They kind of had sort of Christmassy outfits on, some lingerie. We shot here by the window and then across from me over on the bed. And so that was like an edgy Christmas couple kind of thing. And then the last one was outside. So we had another couple come, and it was Brent and his lovely wife. And we did a kind of a walk around as if they just cut down a tree and they're doing a little stroll around the city. So we walked through here, past the Covent Garden Market, over into over by the Labatt Center, and just kind of walked around. Luckily, funny enough, there was some kids rides and just and little events, like a little market and things happening right at the Covent Garden Market. So market at the market. But it just added again to that vibe of like strolling around town and Christmassy, and just it added a lot of fun elements to that shoot. And had them running across the street and teaching the attendees motion blur and things like that. So it was more of a, I guess, in environment, in shoot, where we could walk around and do like an engagement couple as if we were really doing one. So hopefully, with those three main scenes, we gave our attendees enough to pull tangible use cases and skills from that. Looking back now, it'd be good to partition things out, and because initially I wanted to teach video. I wanted Scotty to teach the photo side. I wanted to teach video, and we did some of that. So when we swapped the groups, I would teach them the video content or how to approach or how I think about video in a specific little mini scene. If we wanted to make mini Instagram reels or content, for example. But at the end of the day, when we did all our shooting and we got to hang out, we ordered pizza and we had some beers and drinks and things. We kind of just went to the photo because it just wasn't enough time to go through all the ins and outs of video as well. So now looking back, I think I might, maybe in the spring, I'll do just like a pure video workshop. And so, yeah, so I think that'll be cool. Summarize it. It's like, 3 scenes, five models. We had about 6 or 7 attendees come out, which is great. And just kind of looping back, I think when you first start a workshop or an event of any sort, you're always wondering, is anyone going to sign up? hopefully the models show up. Hopefully they have a good time. Will the day play out like you want? Is there something going to go wrong? Are you going to forget things? Because when it comes down to it, you have to have, for example, we had to get tables in here. We had to get chairs. We had to order that and bring that in. The food, we ordered a bunch of pizzas because that was kind of the easiest as far as like everyone being able to grab their own versus maybe a dish where you had to serve or scoop out and things like that. So those little thoughts, those little things. We got some beers. We got some pop because maybe not everyone drinks. And so, you have to have water. Scrub things down in here. We got to make sure there's even places to even, although we just put up some coat hooks, where everyone kind of store their stuff. We made a little table where people can place things. If we're going to do a projector, that kind of flopped because the projector just wasn't as, it didn't pan out the way we wanted to. It wasn't as clear as we wanted on the screen. So we ended up just having everyone sit around the table, and then we just kind of walked around and just chit chat, open forum style. And that was okay. That was fun. From there, we made a little Facebook group for the Cider House Workshop, which hopefully will grow as we do more workshops or have more people interested in kind of our little community. And so trying to foster that and keep that conversation going and encouraging people to share their work, to talk about it, to basically express their thoughts because as like solo creators, photographers, videographers, if you're anything like me, I'm always on YouTube researching things, looking up things, but it's like once you get to actually hang out with other people, creating other people that are photographers or videographers, there's an understanding, a camaraderie, it's more fun because we can nerd out about gear. We can talk about the business side. We can talk about, there's just intricacies and like nuances within each art form or industry or however you want to phrase it. But basically, just because we do photo and video, that's one connection. But then the type of content you create is another. And then there's just like, when you connect with others specifically in that niche, that are doing weddings, that get it, that just really understand you, it's a lot of fun and it's motivating for me anyways, to be able to chat with others and help them grow. And as I'm teaching them or as we're sharing stories, like I get to learn a bunch too. So it's just this never ending process of, basically evolving yourself. If you're in any creative field, as long as you're continuing to create and grow, that's all you can ask for. And if you're making money along the way, then you're set. So, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to do what we love and make sure it pays the bills at the same time. For video, make sure you get a wide shot, you get your medium shot, and you get your details. And you might not always know how the flow will be, but it's nice to kind of keep that in mind. So I'm always looking for a sort of a beginner. How do I open up the sequence? So for example, we had Nevada and Cole here, and I told everyone, for now, let's keep it simple. Put on aperture priority mode, even in video, so you don't have to think about it right now. Another day, another time, another workshop, we can get into the full manual. But for now, let's just do automatic because I wanted them to learn sort of the thought process and creating a sequence in a video versus having to worry about all the little technical details like off the hop. So aperture priority mode, and I always say let's start with details because that's another thing too. As you start to shoot, the creativity comes too, because it's kind of like a muscle you have to warm up. So as you start to shoot, and that's why details are nice and easy because you just grabbing details and like sometimes the macro and tight shots can look very interesting. So as you shoot, and especially here, are we shooting kind of shadow side? Are we shooting from the light side, right? And so that changes the feel and the vibe. And so that's what I'm talking through with them. I'll grab, from what I remember, it was Cole sitting here. So it was like Cole's on the ground, Nevada was in the chair. We grabbed, shots of his boots, hands, hair, makeup. And so all the little details. And as we move around them and also making sure we shoot through things, shooting through the flowers and trying to get them in there and having them move in video as well. So I would be like, okay, on the count of 3, Cole, you're going to look over to Nevada and you guys will look at each other, and Nevada, you'll just kind of caress his chin or his face and getting some movement in there to try to tell the story of, a couple in love, right? From there, we can do sort of a medium. So once you go to tight shots, the details, you kind of move out a little bit, and you're getting the shot of two of them together. They're interacting. You're seeing it's a couple together. And then from there, I kind of end things off and kind of have them look at me as I move back, or sort of this reveal where it's like a full on standing in front, and you get to see the two of them sitting in this chair with this nice floral arrangement. And so nothing too deep as far as like the story is concerned, but it's showing the details of their clothing, their hands, the movements, the flowers, the chair, and just the scene. And then it ends with showing both of them, right? So to me, that's a nice, easy way. And I kind of replicate that in my wedding films. You know, I might open a scene up with, you know, let's say it's the morning. It's details of the flowers, the chair, tight, close shot of like hair or makeup getting done. And then you open up to the room where it's the bride and everyone's just kind of hustle and bustle, getting ready for the day. And then, for example, moving into the ceremony, you can do the same thing, capturing the arch on the flowers. And there's maybe champagne glasses laying around, or they were in the dinner, you know, reception, and you're seeing the plates and the cake and all the beautiful little details that, you know, that they put in there as, you know, all the details make up so much of the effort, right? And so much of the aesthetic and the beauty of the scene. So I always start there. And as you get interesting shots, and always moving high eye level and low as well. So you're kind of moving up, kind of medium or eye level, down, and side to side, this and that. And so it's always about the variations. So variations in the closeness or wideness of the shot, variations in the height or, you know, of the shot, high level, low. It's varying the angles, varying the shots that you're going to get, because at the end of the day, once you get into the editing room, I always say it's like Legos. So you have a bunch of pieces here, and you could have all the same pieces as I have, but depending on the sequence, the pacing, the music, the sound design, we will create two different feeling and looking mini stories, right? Some people hate the editing part. I love the editing, to be honest. Because it's just, that's where you get to really make the film or the video come together. And it's an infinite amount of ways. Whereas for me personally, with photo, it's pretty much I would color correct, or I'd put on the preset and then tune a little bit. But that's pretty much it. So the difficulty for me, I think, in photo side is either posing or creating movement to capture the pose you want or the feeling you want to capture in that split second. And then from there, you're just making sure that nothing's blown out, the lights look good, like it shows well. So the editing isn't as important as for me is the shot in camera. Whereas video, it's both. So to me, it's more complex, because not only do I have less leeway in video, I can't just recover as much as I can in like a raw photo. I have to get the exposure pretty much right. If you shoot in log, obviously there's more leeway, but still you have to get it pretty much right. You have to manage the stabilization, making sure it's not too shaky, it's not too wobbly, depending on your length of your lens as well. Wide lenses have more wobble, especially if you try to like stabilize and stuff like that later on. So there's just those little complexities. And then once you get into the editing room, you've got to get the color right, then you've got to get the sequencing right, then the sound design. And then if you're recording something where the audio matters, you got all this audio equipment. There's just a lot more pieces. So for what it's worth, my wedding videos will take anywhere from 40 to 80 hours to edit. My wedding photos, probably just like 8 hours, maybe. Yeah. Like if I had a good day to work on it, I could be done a wedding gallery, no problem. It's just a different beast for me. Now I know other people get into like completely photoshopping and doing so much crazy stuff with their photos, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, for me personally, the way I work, video, it just takes a lot more time. But it's funny, I don't notice it. Sometimes it just goes by because I'm just editing and just having a good time. So yeah. But anyway, something to note, if you want to get into the editing world, the video world, I did just ignore it and try to delay it as much as possible, because I just knew how much work was actually involved. But once I got into it, I really enjoy it now. So hopefully you do too. From the feedback we've been getting is, one, they got a lot of good content from the day. They got to practice, to shoot, to learn some new tricks as far as like motion blur or different effects. We had some lights out. We had some fractals out. So you got to play with things and try things out in a studio setting and ask us questions. And I think that is important of itself, is meeting other creators, making new friends, but also being able to just ask directly versus, what we do now. We look on YouTube, we research things, but there's something to be said. You have to go out to practice, to use your camera, to use your gear, and then if you have other people that are a little further ahead in the journey, to sit there and give you some feedback is awesome. And I think that's why people pay for workshops, right? It's like, we want to learn, we want to take something away from it. So that's the core of it. Like, I mean, I think we could probably find different ways or maybe better ways to incorporate the educational side, but historically we've done just content shoots. We call them workshops, but really they're just content days. And that's nice. You come out and get content, you go home and you add to your portfolio. But I think being able to ask questions and work through things and see how other people shoot and learn from that, that's really the value of workshops. So if you're new, I would highly recommend doing a workshop that is more that educational base, where we can like learn and do together, versus, hey, we have this model, this scene, come shoot, get content. Because sometimes you're just there shooting with strangers and maybe you engage, maybe you don't. If you are about to host a workshop yourself, hopefully it goes well, wishing you the best of luck. And then if you are just starting out on your photography journey, I would say, even if you're not doing workshops or paid stuff, just reach out to other people in your town, other creators, just to grab drinks. That's another thing we do. Sometimes just ad hoc make, a little event night, and I'll invite out some friends, some creatives, and just so that other people can meet other people. I like to be the glue in a lot of social circles. And so this way I meet a lot of people get to meet other creators, other people they could potentially work with, and just help each other out. And I think, again, always just come from a mindset of abundance. There's a ton of people getting married. There's a ton of businesses out there. So if you're a content creator, you don't need to sit there and be so scared that if I team up with somebody, or if I share some skills with somebody or whatever, they're going to steal your business. There's lots. Just meet other people, help each other out, and connect with those that are of the same mindset, and just have a good time. And that's all I want to do. I think, any creative, we just want to make money with our camera and find that line or that connection point between doing the thing you love and being paid for it. And so that's where we all want to live, just right in that intersection there, right? And then that way we get to have fun doing what we love, take care of our families, and just live a good life, I guess, right? So anyways, enough from me. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
We've done it. We've hung out all day. It's 7 p.m.
All day.
You guys all good content though, I saw, so that was good.
Awesome.
So thanks for coming out, guys. Okay,
Thanks for having us.
let's do it. Cider House on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cider House!